Welcome to About Mansfield. It is your audio newspaper. I'm Steve Casillo, broadcasting from the Somark Studios, along with the About Mansfield news team. Going solo today, Colleen Daniel has the week off. This is the February 4th, 2026, 306th edition coming up. It's Mansfield News, Talk, and Information. Let's check the stories we're covering this week. School board names lone finalist for supervisor. Mansfield leaders outline growth strategy at State of the City. Disabled son of ICE detainee dies in a Mansfield hospital. Mansfield Reads announces its One City, One Book choice. Mansfield Stadium naming rights sponsor has been announced. And in sports, a Mansfield ISD basketball recap. Let's talk about the talk segment. We will talk in studio with City of Mansfield Public Art Manager Christopher Bryant. We are Mansfield's only source for news, talk, and information. This is About Mansfield.
Hey there, it's Luke from Cool Hand Electric. Are you tired of dealing with plugs or lights that just won't cooperate? Well, don't fret. Give us a call. Worried about power outages or surges damaging your precious electronics? We've got you covered. Whether it's a whole house generator or surge protection, our solution-oriented Cool Hands are ready to tailor the perfect option that suits your needs and budget. At Cool Hand Electric, excellence is still cool.
Cool Hand, Cool Hand, Cool Hand, where excellence is still cool.
Looking for a night out that's anything but ordinary? Step into Vault Seafood and Steakhouse, Mansfield's premier upscale dining experience. Savor perfectly aged steaks, fresh seafood, and handcrafted cocktails, all served in a stunning atmosphere. Want more? Enjoy private dining rooms and a cigar lounge for that extra touch of luxury. Vault delivers exceptional flavor in a one-of-a-kind atmosphere. Located at Matlock and Country Club, Vault Seafood and Steakhouse. Unforgettable nights. Unmatched taste.
Hi, I'm Karen Marcucci, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to About Mansfield. This portion of the news is brought to you by Vault Seafood and Steakhouse. The Mansfield ISD School Board of Trustees has named Dr. Tiffany Spencer as the lone finalist for superintendent following a nationwide search. The Board of Trustees called a 1 p.m. work session for Saturday afternoon to work through the interviewing processes. That session, along with its corresponding vote, led well into the night, but the work to name the lone finalist had to be completed by the February 3rd deadline. The board used City Hall as their work location, as the Center for the Performing Arts venue, which is where they normally hold their meetings, was being used for another event. The board announced the selection of Dr. Spencer after a process that included stakeholder input from staff, parents, and community members. Dr. Spencer currently serves the district as Area Superintendent of Accountability and Special Populations in the Curriculum and Instruction Department. District officials say Dr. Spencer has held roles as a teacher, principal, and area superintendent with experience focused on academic performance, educator support, and community partnerships. The district also notes that she is a Mansfield ISD graduate, having attended Glen Harmon Elementary all the way through Mansfield High School. She later earned a doctorate in education from Texas A&M Commerce and holds a superintendent certification from the University of Texas at Tyler. Before the votes were cast, Board President Dr. Benita Reed stated that despite their differences, the board will continue to work together for the betterment of the students.
All of the candidates were excellent. This was a very difficult decision for us to make, but we wholeheartedly believe that we are going to work together as a community, as a district, and we are going to be better because we are committed to the kids and doing what's very best for them.
The board voted in favor 5-0-2 in favor of Dr. Spencer, with abstentions by trustees Courtney Lackey-Wilson and Michelle Newsom. Lackey-Wilson explained why she abstained.
I wholeheartedly support Dr. Spencer and am confident in her as a person, and especially with her curriculum standards. She's great. But I also recognize that we are an extremely blessed district in a lot of ways too, but we had a lot of really good candidates, and a lot of people that applied, because people do want to come here because it's a great place to live, learn, and teach. So just letting you know, if I abstain, that I do like to give reasons for it.
Under Texas law, the board must observe a 21-day waiting period before voting to finalize the hire. Trustees are expected to take formal action at a future meeting. A start date has not yet been announced. A previously scheduled called board meeting for February 3rd at 6 p.m. was canceled. City leaders used Mansfield's annual State of the City address Thursday to focus on rapid growth and how the city plans to manage it. Speaking at the Mansfield ISD Center for the Performing Arts, Mayor Michael Evans and City Manager Joe Smolinski said Mansfield has grown from a small suburb in the late 1980s to a city of more than 90,000, shaped by expansion across the Dallas-Fort Worth region. Officials introduced a True North framework to guide decisions, then highlighted essential services including police and fire response, road construction, traffic technology, and water capacity upgrades. Key projects include the new fire station number 1 for faster response times, planned reconstruction of Broad Street, expansion of the water treatment system, and continued park and trail development, including a new nature preserve. Leaders also pointed out to major business expansions from companies including Mauser Electronics, Klein Tools, and Cellmark, plus new tourism and entertainment development tied to the Staybolt District, Mansfield Stadium, and North Texas SC. The State of the City address was delivered by Mayor Michael Evans and City Manager Joe Smolinski Thursday morning, and again later that evening to a full house at the Mansfield ISD Performing Arts Center. Prior to the address, we caught up with several city department heads and managers and asked them what their department message would be if they were giving their own State of the City address. We started with Public Art Manager Christopher Bryant.
Well, I would say that we are now in a season where all the great artists that we have in the city, the arts culture that we have here, is really being put to the forefront and being cultivated more than ever before. The city's really backed the development of the arts here. Our local artists, they can attest to that. We have a lot of great projects in the works now as far as our upcoming sculptures and commissions. A lot of things really, a lot of places are spinning right now as far as the arts go. So I really think that Mansfield's going to be like a art destination in the DFW area in the foreseeable future, which is basically our goal.
Chief of Police Tracy Aaron.
Well, I think one of the things you'd be looking at is what does our crime stats look for the city of Mansfield? And as you'll see in the presentation today, those crime stats continue to improve. The growth of our city continues to grow. And you would think that the crime would increase proportionately with that, but in retrospect, what's happening is that we're able to curb that crime control, and we're able to keep our crime at a manageable level.
Mansfield Economic Development Corporation Executive Director Jason Moore.
I would say all of this City Council's vision is now taking root, and we're seeing construction and things coming out of the ground, delivering on that vision. So this City Council has been one of the most active participants that I've ever seen from a policy-making standpoint to set the course, trust in staff to deliver on that, and we're delivering on it now.
Mansfield Animal Care and Control Manager Veronica Munoz.
I think our message would be to microchip your animals, spay and neuter, and if there's any concern, to please give us a call. No matter, you see something wrong, you give us a call. If we don't know something bad is going on, or there's a loose dog, and it's only circulating within your next door app or what have you, you need to be calling us. We need to know that what's going on in the neighborhoods. So if we don't know, we're not going to be able to help.
Executive Director of Public Works Jeff Price.
The sentiment that I would want to make sure everyone knew is how dedicated of a staff the city of Mansfield has in Public Works. Over the last 4 or 5 days, we've had folks working around the clock trying to hit iced areas, intersections, high spots, following, answering police calls. We're really trying to support the public in operations, and it's just been impressive to watch.
Director of Regulatory Compliance Nicolette Ricciuti.
We are very actively strategic planning right now. We're getting ready for all of the growth that we expect to see. So we've been keeping up as much as we can with staffing for all of the inspections that we have. We have a lot of new units coming online, and our multifamily, a ton of brand new food and pool facilities coming, so we're staying on top of those. And then, of course, we just keep expanding our animal control programs as much as we can. We have our brand new animal shelter opening in the summer, so we're looking forward to that.
Marketing and Communications Manager for the Parks and Rec Department, Ann Beck.
The state of our parks is remarkable. We had a really great 2025. We opened Catherine Rose Park, which has been just a banner success, and everyone has been so excited, and we have seen that in the numbers. We have seen that in the responses responses that we've gotten from people. The linear trail expansion, we're adding another 1.5 miles. That's about to be done. The Veterans Memorial will be done this spring as well. We've got some upgrades to some really important long-standing parks like Moody Park over off Kimball because we are putting just as much effort into upgrading our infrastructure as well as building new. And then, of course, this spring we are all very, very excited to open Geyer Commons finally. Those little white houses near downtown are going to be the most fun little weekend market that you've ever seen. So essentially like a farmer's market, but with a little house instead of tents. Every weekend we've got 12 small businesses, and it just keeps going from there. So we are remarkable and unstoppable.
And we conclude with museum manager Jessica Baber.
The big thing right now is that we're in the process of building a kitchen at the Mann House. So it'll be set up the way outdoor kitchens were in the 1800s to replace the kitchen that was there but was torn down many years ago. And so that's a really exciting project. We're going to be able to do like cooking demonstrations and all kinds of fun things in there. And so we've started building, but we don't have an end date yet. But we're really, really excited about that.
We have an update to a story that we brought to you in early January. The disabled adult son of a Jordanian national held in immigration custody has died after a month in the ICU at Mansfield Medical Center. 30-year-old Wael Tarabishi died January 23rd from complications from Pompe disease, a rare progressive muscle disorder, and had been hospitalized many times since his father, Maher Tarabishi, was detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement last fall. Wael stated in a social media video that his health and mental state had been declining without his father, who is his primary caregiver. 62-year-old Maher Tarabishi was detained October 28th during a routine immigration check-in in Dallas. He has lived in the United States since 1994 and, according to his family, entered legally and complied with annual immigration reporting requirements for decades. The Department of Homeland Security has described Maher Tarabishi as a criminal alien and an admitted member of a terrorist organization, a claim that the family denies. They say he has lived under a supervision order for years to care for his son and has no criminal history. Wael's funeral was scheduled for last Thursday. The family requested that ICE allow Maher to attend. That request was denied. Mansfield Reads is returning for 2026, and this year's One City, One Book title has been announced. The community-wide reading program will feature When the Stars Go Dark by best-selling author Paula McLean. Organizers describe the novel as a suspense story that blends mystery with themes of grief, resilience, and community connection. The Mansfield Reads program encourages residents to read the same book and take part in related discussions and events throughout the season. The kickoff celebration is scheduled for 6 p.m. on Thursday, March 5th at Market Street's Tap House 16 on East Broad Street. The program will conclude with an author event titled An Evening with Paula McLean on Friday, April 10th at the Mansfield Public Library. Library officials say copies of the selected book are available for checkout in multiple formats, with retail copies expected soon through the Friends of the Mansfield Public Library. Texas Health Resources is expanding its commitment to community wellness through a long-term naming rights sponsorship for Mansfield Stadium. The agreement establishes Texas Health Mansfield Stadium as the official name of the new venue and reflects a shared commitment to health, wellness, and community impact across the city of Mansfield and the surrounding region. The 10-year agreement includes prominent branding throughout the stadium, a refreshed logo, a new digital presence on the stadium website, while also laying the foundation for a wide-ranging collaboration focused on community health initiatives. As part of the agreement, Texas Health will serve as the stadium's official health partner. Texas Health, Rev Entertainment, North Texas SC, and the City of Mansfield will collaborate on initiatives designed to promote healthier lifestyles, including community programming and enhanced food and beverage offerings that emphasize more nutritious options. The sponsorship further reinforces the stadium's role as a year-round community wellness hub, not just an entertainment venue. And speaking of sports, we have the wins and losses in Mansfield ISD basketball. We'll talk about it because sports is next.
Hungry for bold flavor and a good time? Head on over to El Primo's to enjoy sizzling fajitas and their signature blue margarita. Enjoy weekend live entertainment and let the kids run wild with an outdoor play area and arcade. Planning a party? Multiple private rooms are available, including the all-new Parrot's Nest to make your event a success. Food, fun, and flavor for the whole family at El Primo's. Visit elprimos.net and bring your appetite. Located at Matlock and Country Club. El Primo's, where the locals go.
Mansfield Plumbing, Electrical, Heating, and Air is a family-owned local service provider with over 20 years of experience. Servicing Mansfield and surrounding areas, we offer expert plumbing, electrical, heating, and air solutions focused on quality workmanship, customer satisfaction, fair pricing, and guaranteed results for homes and businesses.
Call 817-473-8888. Mansfield Plumbing's never second rate.
In sports, it was a busy night for Friday night action in boys basketball. Let's take a look at the scores. Lakeridge bested your Mansfield Tigers 83-76. Legacy took a loss to Weatherford 57-52. Summit topped Centennial 55-38. While Timberview ousted Burleson 60-45. Taking a look at girls basketball, Lakeridge bested your Mansfield Lady Tigers 57-42. Legacy routed Weatherford 74-47. Summit topped Centennial 53-28. While Timberview nipped Burleson 36-35. With just a week left in the regular season, teams that are in the hunt for the playoffs include 6A boys would be Mansfield is 6-2, currently in second place. Lakeridge 5-2 and in third place. 5A boys, Summit perfect 9-0, first place. Timberview 8-1, pulling in second place at 8-1. 6A girls, Lakeridge is 6-3, currently in third place. Legacy 6-3, currently at fourth place. And 5A girls, Summit is 8-2, standing at second place. In other sports, the UIL has released its new high school football district alignments for the 2026 through 28 seasons, and several Mansfield area programs will see changes compared with last year's district structures. In the new alignment cycle, Legacy and Summit are grouped together in 5A Division I District 8. It would be the first time the two programs were paired together, as Legacy previously was a 6A campus. Timberview is placed in 5A Division II, District 7 for the new cycle. This represents a district number and grouping change from last season's alignment, shifting their program into a different competitive cluster within Division II. Looking at 6A, Lakeridge and Mansfield remain together, but now in District 11, along with Crowley, Skyline, Duncanville, North Crowley, Red Oak, and Waxahachie, and dropping Boswell and Weatherford from last year's bunch. The updated alignments will govern district play, playoff paths, and travel schedules for the next two football seasons, with schools and athletic departments expected to release detailed schedules in the coming months. And that, my friends, is a look at sports. This coming Saturday, February 7th, is National Send a Card to a Friend Day. It's exactly what it sounds like, a polite, low-tech reminder that friendship existed before emojis and receipts. The idea is simple. Take a few minutes, pick up an actual card, paper, envelope, stamp, the whole vintage starter kit, and send a note to someone who could use a smile. Greeting cards date back hundreds of years, but the modern card industry took off in the early 1900s, and it never looked back, except maybe at your handwriting, which today counts as abstract art. Studies still show that receiving physical mail creates a stronger emotional impact than digital messages, mostly because it proves someone put in the effort. So Saturday, surprise a friend. Check your address book and deploy a little analog kindness, because nothing says I appreciate you like mail that isn't a bill. Coming up after the break, we turn the page to the features section. Tim Roberts is here with the monthly cultural arts calendar.
I'm Angel Biasatti, and today we're talking about love and kindness and how they play a meaningful role in our health. On Methodist Mansfield News to Know.
We talk with a chief investment advisor in this week's 40 Under 40.
In this week's cocktail of the week, it's a little sweet and it's just bold enough to make your heart race without totally giving itself away.
We are Mansfield's only source for news, talk, and information. I'm Steve Casillo, and this is About Mansfield. This portion of the news was brought to you by El Primo's, where the locals go.
Hey there, it's Luke from Cool Hand Electric. Are you tired of dealing with plugs or lights that just won't cooperate? Well, don't fret. Give us a call. Worried about power outages or surges damaging your precious electronics? We've got you covered. Whether it's a whole house generator or surge protection, our solution-oriented Cool Hands are ready to tailor the perfect option that suits your needs and budget. At Cool Hand Electric, excellence is still cool.
Cool hand, cool hand, cool hand, where excellence is still cool.
At Methodist Mansfield Medical Center, we've been caring for our home team for over 15 years. Today, you'll find award-winning physicians on the medical staff, advanced neurosurgery, a level 3 trauma center, critical care for newborns, and comprehensive orthopedic care. Methodist Mansfield, delivering the care our friends, neighbors, and home team depend on. That's community, and why so many people trust Methodist.
Congratulations to Joseph Hurst, who was the first person to correctly answer last week's Mansfield trivia question, what is National Texas Day? Well, Joseph knew that National Texas Day is a celebration of Texas history, culture, and significant figures. It is not Texas Independence Day. Looking for that weekly, highly coveted, wildly popular About Mansfield trivia question? You can find it at its new home on the About Mansfield News Talk Facebook page. Log on to Facebook right now. Hit the About Mansfield News Talk page. As always, the first person to email the correct answer will win a $25 restaurant gift card, courtesy of Joe Jenkins Insurance. Good luck.
Hi, this is Joe Jenkins with Joe Jenkins Farmers Insurance, specializing in auto, home, commercial, and life insurance. I was born and raised here in Mansfield, Texas. We're active in the community, and Mansfield's a town we really care about. Our office has over 30 years' experience in the insurance industry, and we're passionate about what we do and about customer service. For a free quote, please visit our website at joejenkinsinsurance.com or give us a call at 817-472-6058. Once again, that website is joejenkinsinsurance.com.
Hi, this is Mansfield ISD Superintendent Dr. Kimberly Cantu, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to About Mansfield, your audio newspaper. Let's open up the features section. It is the first episode of the month, and that means we bring in our cultural arts guru into the studio from the city of Mansfield, the tourism manager, Tim Roberts. Welcome back to About Mansfield.
Glad to be back. Glad to have roads and sidewalks we can walk and drive on again. That was a little treacherous there for a while.
Yeah, it was. It was. I still have snow out in front of my house in the shaded areas.
Yeah, we've got a pile on our back porch that's probably still a good foot high, and it doesn't get any sun until like March because of the way the house is arranged. So we may just have a nice little pile of sleep for another couple of weeks.
Well, apparently the groundhog did see its shadow.
Which in Texas means the weather's going to change 8 more times in the next 6 weeks.
That's right. That's right. Let's get into the cultural arts calendar. Not much on the calendar, but it's a powerful not much.
It's a big month, even though it's a very condensed month. Obviously, February is shorter than ever. But February 6th to the 15th, the Fleetwood Project presents May We All. And this is a celebration of country music live from the Far Best Theater stage. So in the truest of senses, back to the roots in so many ways for the Far Best Theater. Country music, community theater melding as one for another fantastic Fleetwood Project show.
Let's get into February 8th. What's going on then?
February 8th over at the Wallace Hall Art House. We have a special afternoon date, Valentine's date, paint and celebrate. It's BYOB. There's wine on site, and you paint a beautiful Valentine's Day related piece of artwork with your significant other, with your friend, or just by yourself, whatever you want to do. So come out to the Wallace Hall Art House on February 8th at 3 p.m. for that.
The monthly event that takes place at the Far Best Theater.
Open mic night, February 12th, 7:30 p.m. It's the staple. It's the classic. It's growing. Got some big names that have been performing now. Some local stars who are making headline news over on certain program related to being an American and being an idol. Was doing a performance over there.
Oh, so very good.
Pretty fantastic stuff going on.
Very good. And then finally, I could take a guess as to what LSF means, but
yes.
you're gonna tell me.
March 1st, aka February 29th, essentially. But if this sounds like a repeat, it's because, well, that Snow and Ice bumped it. LSF, the Little Spark Film Festival 5, will be at the Far Best Theater now March 8th at 2 p.m. Again, rescheduled from January. but the films remain the same. You can get tickets at the door. A fantastic celebration of local independent film here in our film-friendly community.
Yeah, and then as a reminder,
Arts Week is March 12th through the 18th, so save the date. Over 25 cultural arts events across a 1-week span in spring break. And even though we didn't have a ton this month, that's because we are so packed out for March. I'm going to have to bring my auctioneer voice next month to rattle through every event we've got over that week. And just a reminder, obviously, you can get the full class and event schedule over at MansfieldTexasArts.org. If you're interested in trying something new or want to double check some of the times and dates on here, that's your one-stop shop.
That is Tim Roberts. He is the tourism manager for the city of Mansfield. That is the cultural arts calendar. Tim, go forth. We'll see you in a month.
See you then.
Angel Biasatti is here to talk about how love and kindness play a meaningful role in our health. In Methodist Mansfield News to Know. Angel?
Simple acts of compassion can reduce stress, improve emotional well-being, and support heart health by lowering anxiety and blood pressure. Human connection is equally powerful. Strong relationships and supportive communities help reduce loneliness, improve mental health, and encourage healthier lifestyles. Feeling valued and connected is a form of preventative care. Love also begins with self-kindness. Prioritizing your sleep, balance, and mental well-being allows us to show up better for others, whether it's a kind word, a listening ear, or a moment of patience. Small gestures can make a lasting difference for others and for ourselves. When love and kindness guide our interactions, healthier communities follow. I'm Angel Biasatti, reporting for the About Mansfield podcast.
The Mansfield Business Alliance has recently released their 40 under 40 list. Now, 40 under 40, these are 40 people, all either at the age or under the age of 40. This is the next generation of leaders here in Mansfield. And one of those people is here in the studio today. He is the founder of Stonehill Wealth Management. He works with individuals, families, business owners to develop clear, disciplined financial strategies focused on long-term goals. His approach emphasizes risk management, thoughtful planning, and informed decision-making. He is committed to helping clients build and protect wealth through practical guidance and personalized service. He, again, is one of Mansfield's 40 under 40. We welcome Philip Washington Jr. Welcome to About Mansfield.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Let's talk about 40 under 40. Now, the list came out actually a while ago. You are, I know that you just turned 40, so you're one and done.
I'm 41 now.
You're 41?
Yeah, I'm 41.
So you were 40 when you were nominated?
41 now.
Okay. What does that mean to you to be a 40 under 40?
You know what? 40 is like a magical number.
Yeah.
And I feel like in your 20s, you're just stupid and doing a bunch of stupid stuff, no matter how brilliant you feel you are. Your 30s, then you're like testing all your brilliant strategies and learning which ones are stupid and which ones are are working. And so like I was like, oh man, cool. Through my like chaotic process, the community thought highly enough of me to give me this nomination, because I was like, I didn't know what I was doing. I just was filling my way through the system.
Now, the strategy then, does that carry over into your entrepreneurship, that when you were in your 20s, were you doing stupid stuff, and 30s, still trying to figure things out?
Absolutely, yeah. This is just my opinion for entrepreneurship and investing. I feel like, there's like this ancient religious text that talks about the tree of life versus the tree of good and evil, right? And the literal translation is, you can try to learn through like books, rules, regulations, right? That's like the tree of good and evil. Or you can let life teach you, right, through experience. And I've found that in entrepreneurship, that's made me sharper of doing the stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I should be saying that word on here, but doing the stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying?
We can handle that.
Okay. Doing the stupid stuff, but learning from it, because it's like, put your hand on the stove, you burn yourself, you go, let me try one more time just to make sure. And you go, cool. I don't have to read that in a book.
Right. Once bitten, twice shy.
It's in my nervous system now.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not going to put my hand on the stove anymore.
Yep.
You are considered, because you are a 40 under 40, you are considered a leader in the community. Is this something that you as a little boy, little Philip, something you strived to be, or did you just kind of grow into it?
Yeah, it kind of was same trial and error. I wanted to play basketball in the NBA because that just was a driving purpose that a young boy has, right? You got to have something to drive you to build good habits. So it drove me, and I never really thought anything of it once I realized senior year that I was not going to the league and I had to get like a real plan for college. I didn't know what I wanted to, but I was like, okay, maybe I'll start a business training people on how to work out. And I had learned a bit about the stock market, but those two ideas kind of formed my thinking around being open to entrepreneurship and investing.
I read just yesterday that your odds of winning the lotto are better than your odds of making it to the NBA.
I can see that.
I mean, that less than 0.1% of high school boys who play basketball make it to the NBA.
I can see that.
And so
I can see that. Look, the odds are better now with NIL rules in Europe. But yeah.
I guess
there
are more opportunities.
There's also more people playing, so maybe the odds are the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go back in time. So let's go to 10-year-old Philip. What you know today, if you were to be face to face with 10-year-old Philip, what advice would you give him?
I would tell him, hey, trust your internal feelings more than you trust the books people write. Don't not read books, but understand that your internal order is like your guidance system. You know what I'm saying? And if the weight you placed on external stuff is more than your internal stuff, you get unbalanced, literally. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so like just operate them at the and I was naturally pretty good at that, but I would just say trust it more. Because the only thing that I know at 40 that I didn't know at 10 is that I was right to trust it.
Yeah.
You know, between now and then, I would let the world and experts say, oh, this is my path. And I'd be like, I don't know, that doesn't feel right. And I would go. But now I go, nah, like my nervous system is going to guide me in the right direction for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a different, unique footprint than everybody else. And so is everybody else.
Trust your heart.
Trust your heart.
The financial Phil Ossifer, which that goes back to that's like 3 or 4 years ago, right?
Yeah, the T-shirt.
Insider information, but that Philip has been recording his podcast here at the studio for years, and the studio had created T-shirts saying the financial Phil Ossifer, as in Philip Washington Jr. You're 41. You're married. I know you have a couple of sons. How do you maintain work-life balance?
I sort of destroyed that structure.
Yeah.
A while ago, I was going back to intuition. I was like, work-life balance. That seems like engineering in a system that it's just not going to work. I was like, let me just do a short talk to you. Let me just say, all right, let me build my family into. Let me blend it all together like a gumbo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I set it up where I was like, I take the kids to school, I drop them off, right? I'm there for homework, and then I work in between. But I'm also like, if something needs to get done in the evening, I'll do it. But I put my calendar in place and I put things that are important to me in there first. So I put them first. I put date night first. I put working out first, right? And then I fill work in around it. Because for me, like, I actually enjoy what I do, and I can get lost in it.
Isn't that a great feeling?
It's a great feeling, yeah.
That I get to come to a playground. I mean, for me, this is a technology playground for me that I get to play with Mike. I get to talk to people every day.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, so yeah, I understand that it's very, very, very simple to to effortlessly work 80 hours a week.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's like water. You're like, it's just, your time will flow in and you'll look up, and I was like, all right, let me put the things that are important to me first. So then when I get lost, because you're creative like me, like to truly be creative, you got to get lost. So now I can get lost knowing that like we got date night planned, we had date night, I'm there for the boys, we got our basketball time, like I'm good. So when it's my time, which is like work time or lost time, I can get lost.
So I'm understanding, okay, date night and the other family things, those, and we have a slogan in our house. It's actually right there on the whiteboard in the kitchen, family first. And I'm sensing that's what is in your family as well. But when the stock market takes a dump and you're getting phone calls from clients, then does family take a back seat?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's hard up front, because early on people were like text you on the weekend or text you at night because everybody wants to put you on their schedule. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in a service business, so I pride myself on being accessible and respectful. But one thing I did early on is I'll get a text late at night, sitting watching, Young and the Restless with my wife or something, or Beyond the Gates, what we watch now, and somebody will text me something that's urgent, but most of the time it's not important, right? Urgent is, hey Philip, like I need to find a way to get money out of my account right now because I can't pay my mortgage in the morning, right?
That's urgent.
Never gotten that call.
Okay,
right? It's always something I'm thinking about now that I need to get out of my head, and I need you to jump on it now. And so I'll get the text or whatever, and I'll read it, and I go, oh, yeah, definitely. It's something we can talk about in the morning. I'll give you a call first thing.
Yeah.
And you did it a few times when people get the picture of, oh, Philip don't play about his family. Nah, I don't play about my family.
That's right. That I have business hours.
Yeah, and I'll add in there, because I'm watching Beyond the Gates with my wife. So I don't tell them, don't call me. I just say, hey, can we talk about this in the morning at 8 a.m.? I'm watching this with my wife. And only a would say, do it now. And then if you're I'm definitely not doing it. I'm just going to fire you.
You can't go to In-N-Out at 3 a.m. and expect a burger.
Facts.
Right. Everybody has set hours. Everybody should respect that you're watching something with your wife.
Mm-hmm.
So we always like to conclude these interviews with what's called an open mic. Now, this is your opportunity to look right in the camera and talk to whomever. If you want to give shout outs or Philip's philosophical minute or what have you, this is your opportunity to say whatever's on your mind.
All right.
This open mic. Philip Washington.
This is what's on my mind.
Okay.
I built the wealth management business, which is hard, without doing a bunch of cold calling and a bunch of seminars and having lots of quality time with my family. And the core thing that I did to build it was podcasting with Podcast Mansfield. I know we didn't talk about this and I didn't, but I'm saying genuinely, like I think part of being successful is embracing the now, not the future.
Yeah.
Right? The now. Like podcasting is like now. And if you have a business or you're trying to do something and you want to speak to people where they are, like if you go look at the metrics of where people give their attention, YouTube's number one now.
Right.
Like number one. You know what I mean? And so I would highly encourage, it doesn't cost anything to put on YouTube. Your production team is going to be way cheaper than trying to even get you a show on HGTV or whatever. So I think like if you're building a business and you're playing in the now and you want work-life balance, use technology and tools to give you more outcome for a smaller amount of income or input.
Philip Washington Jr., Chief Investment Officer for Stonehill Wealth Management. If you want to reach out to him, how can people reach out to Philip?
The best way is my website, stonehillwealthmanagement.com. That's stonehillwealthmanagement.com, or you can email me at philip2ls@stonehillwm, like wealthmanagement.com.
And if people want to listen to your podcast?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Wealth building made simple on every platform. It's 4 separate words. Wealth building made simple. You can just Google it. It's that Googleable.
Yes, it is. Philip Washington Jr., congratulations, 40 under 40.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on About Mansfield.
Thanks.
Shaken or stirred, you know it's going to be good as Bryant Certain serves up a drink that kicks off the month of love. In this week's Cocktail of the Week, Brian?
Welcome to the Cocktail of Week, brought to you as always by Bourbon Gospel. I'm your lovable host, Bryant Certain, and all during the month of February, we're going to be exploring the many flavors of love in all of its various forms, not just the candlelit kind. We're talking about nostalgic crushes, lifelong friendships, soul-stirring vows, and yes, even that hard-earned moment when you finally learn to love yourself. This week, we're starting with the lighthearted end of the spectrum, those early sparks, those innocent butterflies, the kind of memory that gets sweeter with time. So let's raise a glass to the thrill of infatuation with a bold, blushing cocktail that I call First Crush. It's a blood orange gin sour. That's simple, it's sexy, and it's just dramatic enough to steal the show. So let's start with the ingredients. First, you're going to start with 2 ounces of a Texas craft gin, something floral like Treaty Oak or Still Lawson. 1 ounce of fresh blood orange juice, 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lemon juice, 3/4 of an ounce of Texas wildflower honey syrup. That's a 1-to-1 honey to warm water ratio. 1 egg white. It's optional, but is it really? And then a dash of orange bitters. So the garnish is going to be a blood orange wheel and a tiny sprig of rosemary. My preferred glass is going to be a coupe glass or a Nick and Nora glass, always chilled. So how are we putting together this bold blush of a cocktail? We're going to add the gin, the blood orange juice, the lemon juice, the honey syrup, the egg white, and bitters to a shaker. We're going to dry shake. That means without ice. And we're going to do it for about 10 to 15 seconds, and that's going to emulsify the egg white, which is why I said it's optional, but it's also kind of necessary to get the right consistency. After that 15 seconds of dry shaking, you're going to add the ice and shake again until your cocktail is well chilled, about another 15 to 20 seconds. Then you're going to double strain it into a chilled coupe glass and then garnish with a thin wheel of blood orange and a delicate rosemary sprig. The sour is one of the oldest families of cocktails dating back to the mid-1800s. It's a perfect balance of strong, sour, and sweet, just like your high school crush. And we elevate it here with the blood orange, a fruit prized in Sicilian cocktails and California sunshine. The flavor, think orange with a hint of raspberry. The color, it's the stuff of poetry, or at least a Valentine's card scribbled in gel pen. Adding the egg white gives this cocktail the signature silky top. It's like perfect hair in drink form. And a bonus piece of trivia, the botanical base of gin, particularly a Texas gin with lavender or wild juniper, it adds a romantic herbal note that whispers, "Notice me." The mocktail version of it, as you know, we're doing mocktail versions every week with our cocktail, is we're going to take 2 ounces of the Seedlip Groove, which is a citrus-forward non-alcohol spirit. You can still use the blood orange juice, you can use the lemon juice, you can use the honey syrup, and then the egg white, and then a dash of orange blossom water. Shake as I gave before, use in the same glassware, garnish it with flair because you know you're worth it. And let this week be about joy, about lightness, about allowing yourself to feel something again, or maybe for the first time. Whether you're navigating the early flutters of a new love or remembering what it felt like, pour something beautiful and let yourself be a little swept away. As always, I'm open to hear your take and your input. You can reach me at Bryant@bourbongospel.com. And until next week, as the American poet Mark Twain said, too much of anything is bad, but too much whiskey is barely enough. Reporting for the About Mansfield podcast, I'm Bryant Certain.
We're back in 60 seconds with our in-studio interview with Mansfield's public art manager, Christopher Bryant.
Imagine a city where innovation knows no bounds, where dreams take flight and the future unfolds before your very eyes. Welcome to Mansfield, a beacon of growth and a testament to vision. In the heart of Mansfield, a remarkable transformation is underway. But it's not just about the physical landscape. It's about the spirit that drives us forward. A spirit of collaboration that bridges cultures, a spirit of entrepreneurship that fuels prosperity, and a spirit of community that binds us as one. Mansfield is more than just a place. It's a canvas where diversity paints the picture of progress. From art festivals that ignite creativity to tech hubs that redefine boundaries, this city celebrates every voice, every passion. Mansfield, where growth knows no limits and the vision is limitless. Brought to you by the unstoppable spirit of the Mansfield Economic Development Corporation.
Hi, I'm Katie Hayes, pastor of Galileo Church, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to another segment of About Mansfield. I'm Steve Casillo as we make the transition from news to talk. And in the studio today, if you've been around town for, say about the last 5, 7, 10 years, you see the city starting to pop up with some art. And it's very cool, whether it's tiny murals that are painted on the sidewalk to murals on the side of buildings to murals that are now big signs along the Walnut Creek Trail. In the studio today, we're going to talk public art. And first of all, Christopher Bryant, welcome to About Mansfield.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Steve.
You are the public art manager.
Yes, sir.
For the city of Mansfield.
Yes.
And we're going to find out more about the public art manager side of Christopher Bryant here in just a second. But what I always like to do is kind of go back and find out who you are and how you got to where you are. So first of all, the Reader's Digest version of who is Christopher Bryant?
Yeah, been a long journey to get here to Mansfield, but I will say personally, art's always been near and dear to my heart. I have 2 degrees in art, so I've always followed that path, as far as that goes. The old adage of, you get in the arts and once you finish with it, what are you going to do with it?
Right. It's like a philosophy major. Okay.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with
what
it?
now?
Right.
Well, the great thing is I've truly been blessed, honestly, through no effort of my own. But I've been blessed the arts have actually opened so many doors for me. Coming to Texas, actually, I'm from North Carolina originally, and I actually started in an arts venue in Fort Worth at one of the museums when I first came to Texas back in 2010. So it's been a while since I've been here, since I've transitioned to the space. But from there, everything I've done has been in the arts in DFW. I actually opened 2 performance venues in the Metroplex.
Which ones?
One in Mansfield, the Performing Arts Center, and I opened one in Arlington as well. Okay. So I opened both of those, again, because of my background in the arts and with the events and so forth. And I was actually and currently the president for the Mansfield Commission for the Arts since its conception back in 2016. I want to say it was. So, man, 2016. Yeah,
10 years ago.
I know, isn't that crazy? Yeah, since it's being conceived, I've been on board and been honored to be the president for that commission. Yeah. So a lot of things have really happened in Mansfield since I've been here. It's been mind-blowing just to see the pace that it's going. But it's just a testament to how the city's really back in the arts here.
Let's go back in time. Again, you mentioned you're from North Carolina. What part of North Carolina and how long were you there?
Born and raised there, actually, so to speak. My father's in the military. So I was born in the Triangle area, Raleigh, Durham, the whole area. Most people, when I say where I'm from, they're like, oh, they hear Rocky Mounts, I said, no, that's not the mountains from the Triangle area. But yeah, I was born there, but I actually lived in Hawaii for about five or 6 years.
Nice.
Yeah, I know, poor me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my father was stationed out there. So lived in Hawaii, went back to North Carolina.
On which island?
Oahu.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I hear that living on any Hawaiian island or any island itself, it can be a little tedious because you can only go so far without hitting water.
Very true. As a kid, you think it's great.
Yeah.
You know, like, 15-minute drive, I'm at the ocean again. The island that we lived on the military base.
Okay.
Which was great, the housing that we had there. So it really was a tight-knit community. So I really had a chance to meet a lot of different cultures just in that little centralized space there, which was great. And that really helped me when I moved back to North Carolina, because then my whole vision was just expanded versus, the Southern way of thinking, some people say, so yes. And then actually I went to college in Oklahoma, on Oral Roberts in Oklahoma. And I bounced around quite a bit, as far as different locations.
At what point in your life did you realize that art wants to become a part of my life, or my life wants to become a part of art?
Honestly, I just took a leap of faith. I've been drawing since I was about 3, literally. And the whole time I was in school, I was kind of leaning towards the engineering or the math part of, my career, or what I thought it would be. But really, it's my senior year of high school. I said, I really want to pursue art and see what this is about. So honestly, that was my major. My bachelor was in studio arts, and I just loved it. I picked up oil painting when I was in college. Never painted before in my life, and I just gravitated towards it. So that really helped cultivate gifts I didn't know were really there.
And can we see any of your art around town?
Me personally, no. People always ask me that. Honestly, I do so much promoting others' art. I'm just excited about doing that. And then people say, what about your show? I say, oh, yeah, I didn't think about that, So at some point, maybe I'll do that. But for right now, it hasn't been my focus, really.
Your first degree in art, you said, was in?
Studio design.
Yes, and then you went on to get a master's?
Well, I actually have 2 bachelors.
Two bachelors, okay.
Yeah, I have one in studio, not studio design, studio arts, excuse me. Reason why, because that's the fine art side of it. But then I saw how, when I went to college, I'm like, there's this digital portion that I didn't even know about, So I got my bachelor's in graphic design. Oh, wow. So I have the best of kind of both worlds, I guess, there. So I've really used both of them more than I would think I would ever use them in my career.
You came to this area. How did... this is very impressive, because I remember when the Performing Arts Center opened.
Yes.
How were you chosen as the one to be a part of the opening?
That is a fascinating story in itself. I actually was working in Dallas ISD at the time. Okay. I was working in administration there. And there was a man I was working with, and he was constantly saying how he's trying to find new opportunities. He had got his doctorate, and he's like, can't find an opportunity, and it's amazing how somebody came to him. He had friends in Mansfield ISD, and someone came to him, and I knew nothing about the school district. I knew nothing about the Performing Arts Center. I wasn't even thinking about events. And he came to me. I'll never forget it. He came to my office one day and said, you know what? Sometimes people give me information. I feel like it's God's way of telling me to give to somebody else.
Yeah.
And he said, someone told me about this Performing Arts Center that's opening, and I think you'll be great for it just because of your organizational skills, your art background. I applied for it. I remember the interview, sitting in the lobby with 4 or 5 people who had their binders of their accomplishments and everything. I had my little folder with my resume in it. But the thing that really got me in the door was sitting on the table was a blueprint for the Performing Arts Center. Okay. So I just started looking through it. I know how to read blueprints, so I'm looking through it and everything. And when I got into the room with the 2 people interviewing me, it was a fine arts director and one of the associate superintendents. And when they started talking about the Performing Arts Center, I was like, oh, yeah, I remember seeing that in the blueprints. They're looking like, how do you know this? I
you
said,
saw the blueprints?
Yeah,
Wow.
they're on the table,
Yeah.
Years later, I think they did that intentionally just to see, people's initiative.
Yeah.
But just from that conversation, they took a chance on me. And I remember, 7 years later, the guy who hired me, he was retiring. And I'll never forget it. He said, I'm so glad I hired you, He told me that. I said, that's a blessing because I know what I was doing, but they took a chance. And that really just helped me see more of myself and to really see the potential for the arts outside of, painting and drawing. There's so much more in the arts world.
So when you were hired for the PAC, the Performing Arts Center up there on Debbie Lane, what what was your role?
So I was the event coordinator out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so all the events that came through, from the school events to the rentals, all of the celebrity concerts we had out there, I was a part of that to help put that together with our team.
Were you working with Flo, or was that before Flo?
I was the first hire there. Literally, I was the first hire. Flo came on board shortly afterwards. And I was like, thank God she's here. Because it's just such a different world, and she's amazing. So
Flo Torres has been with the Performing Arts Center pretty much from the onset. She's still there, right?
About 11 years. It opened longer than that. Wow, opened in 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, so she came on board, I would say maybe right before 2013.
Yeah.
She came on board. So she's been there for a while, but it wouldn't be what it is today if it were not for her leadership. So I'm just blessed to really learn from her, and that really helped me out.
Let's talk about what you do with the city.
Yeah, so now another interesting story. When I was in the Arts Commission, I remember back in 2022, the Cultural Arts Master Plan was formalized, and it was in the works with the city. And one of the initiatives and factors of that was hiring a public art manager. I was not even thinking, 3 years later, that I'll be in that position. So that's what I do now. All of the acquisition and commissioning of the public arts, and public art being art in public spaces. It's accessible. It's people can enjoy it, interact with it. It's visible, highly visible. That's what the public arts are in the city. Me as the public art manager, my goal is to make sure that those opportunities for artists and for the community are available for them to experience the arts.
During the intro, I mentioned murals.
Yes.
Whether it's a mural on a sidewalk or on the side of a building. There's more to public art than just murals.
Yes.
Help me out.
That's an interesting point, because murals are very visible.
Yeah.
So it's one of the most visible, at that and sculptures, it's one of the most visible things you can see. But there's other things as well. There's functional public art, as far as the benches, and, it can be bike racks. It can be anything like that. There's like the interactive art for families and kids, splash pads, like water features, fountains. Okay. There's all types of art, but murals, you're absolutely right. It's one of the easiest, honestly, public arts to install, because there really isn't, unless you know like mosaics or something, there really isn't like a lot of hardware to it. It's really the concept and the design. So when people look at downtown, for example, they say, hey, the murals are downtown. They've been there for a while. Well, we just finished a mural project yesterday, actually.
Yesterday, right.
Yes.
Or yesterday, Sunday.
Excuse
right?
me. Yes.
That's okay.
The week flies by, doesn't it? Yeah, so we just had our second community mural painting day on Saturday, which was over 100 people came out. So that was, it was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. The first one we did back in September. So that's just a chance for the community to not only see a public art mural, but to see that I had a part in this, So it's really great that we had a chance to do that.
Right. The first mural is up at along the Walnut Creek Linear Trail at
Smith and
Elm.
Yes.
This one is going toward the backyard. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
The backyard where the burger place,
Twisted Root.
Yes. Thank you. So if you go out toward the back side of it, when is the grand opening?
So the official unveiling is going to be on Friday of Arts Week. Arts Week begins in March, on March 12th. Yeah, so that's going to be the first the unveiling of it officially.
Okay, yes. So right now is still just the big blank mural. Okay, the backside of Twisted Root. If you go out in the parking lot, you can't miss it. Really.
No, not at all.
It's big. Is there a theme to this year's mural?
Yeah, so this one was a great concept. The first one was as well.
Yeah.
This one, there's a lot of community feedback from it. Our Common Table event that we had end of last year, we had people come to where we are now, the Grandview, and they actually gave their ideas for the theme, which was traditions and celebrations, things our residents have experienced in their childhood as a family, things that identify their culture or just identify the city as a whole. Mm-hmm. So they got a chance to give us feedback about, I feel like this is something that is a tradition that we all do, or this is something that, I've done as a child, or in Mansfield, here's a tradition that I'm used to in Mansfield, the pickle parade or things like that. So that's what the theme of this is, really celebrating our heritage through traditions and celebrations through the city.
You mentioned interactive art.
Yes, sir.
I got to tell you a quick story.
Sure.
That I was part of a project. You may recall Painted Pianos around town.
Yes, sir.
That was a project that I started here in Mansfield.
Oh, really?
And that was, an interactive I can't remember the slogan that we used, but interactive was in the slogan of, and the idea was you're walking down the street. The very first piano that we placed was in front of the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
So you're walking down the street. Oh my gosh, look at this piano! It's not only is it beautiful, but it's playable. And then maybe a guitar student walks out of Music Mentors and is walking. Hey, can I jam with you? Yeah. Great. And the only problem that there were many problems with putting acoustic pianos out on the street in the elements.
Yes.
Is that people would play them and then they would leave the case open.
Oh, yes.
Exposing the keys. It would rain, the keys would swell, and now you've got, you cannot even play a note on it. We did maybe a dozen painted pianos.
Yeah, we had one at the Performing Arts Center. Yes.
Yep, and there was one at MEDC.
Yes.
And I think our biggest, most ambitious project was a baby grand piano, but that was also a community piano. The local artist concept was we're going to make a quilt, make it look like a quilt is draped over this baby grand piano.
Oh, yeah.
And as you know, quilts are squares. And so everybody got to paint a square.
That's awesome.
And so that brought the communities together.
And where was that one located?
That was at Music Place Mansfield.
Got you.
They used to be on South Main.
Yes.
I would assume they took the piano with them.
Okay.
I digress. I thought I'd throw in a little story about interactive.
No, that's great. I mean, I remember that vividly when I was at the Performing Arts Center. I was like, what a cool concept, and you're the man behind it. So that's not surprised.
Well, I kind of helped start it. I brought it to, there was a nonprofit at that time called Discover Historic Mansfield. And when I was in New York, and I was across the bay from, or the river from Manhattan in Brooklyn.
Yes.
And walking in Brooklyn Bridge Park, right out in the middle of the elements, was a piano. And I handed my camera to my brother-in-law, and I said, just start taking pictures. And I sat down and I started playing a little boogie woogie and came back to Mansfield. I printed out maybe 4 or 5 of those photos and passed them around at the board meeting. And I said, imagine these pianos on the streets of Mansfield. And it was a no-brainer.
Yes.
That was one of our first art projects that we did in town. And,
yes.
And it worked.
And that's the interactive side of what public art is, things like that where people actually enjoy these art pieces as they were.
Yep.
Yes. And there's actually a couple still around. I've seen them.
I'm not sure where, and a lot of the pianos were actually disassembled.
Yes.
And a friend of mine still has the what would we essentially be called the harp, the strings of the piano. He's got that on display in his home.
Yes.
As we disassembled some of these pianos, we actually gave some pieces back to the artists.
Oh, nice.
That, hey, I know you spent a lot of free time doing these pianos. Would you like some of them back? And, oh, yeah. But enough about me and enough about the pianos.
That's a great story.
Yeah, at the State of the City address.
Yes.
Either the mayor or the city manager, I can't remember whom, talked about a statue coming to the animal control building, and it would be the first statue to be displayed in the city.
Absolutely.
Tell me about this statue.
Yeah, so it's going to be a new animal service center on Wisteria. It's going to open this spring. So yes, that is the first public art commissioning that we've had under the public art program. So we have an artist out of Miami, Vito DeBari, who was selected from the Public Art Advisory Committee to do the sculpture. It'll be a 16-foot sculpture, so you can't miss it.
Right.
Yeah. We wanted something that was very visible, something that made a statement, and something that really tied into the theme of the facility itself. So it'll be unveiled pretty soon in regards to the community coming out to actually see, the unveiling of this beautiful piece here in May. It's going to be unveiled. So the great thing about that is this is really the first chance that the community is going to see like the process. Once you get, I'm learning this myself. Once you actually get into the process of the RFP and going through the bids and the contracts and things like that, it's a long process. When I first came on board, I spoke with several public art managers in the area to get information, advice, some of the plus delta information they've learned, in their trade. And most of them said the same thing. A typical large public art piece takes between 14 to 16 months.
Wow.
To go from RFP to conception to contracting to fabrication to install. And the larger pieces might take longer. It's just a process you go through. Now, some are quicker. As far as like if you're doing like a sole source project or things like that, but most of them, it takes a while for that. But now that we have a couple of plates spinning with the public arts, we have our next one coming up at Fire Station number 1. That's going to be another sculpture. We actually have a meeting coming up in a few days with the Public Art Advisory Committee.
The new Fire Station number 1.
Yes, sir. The one off of Walnut and
because
Broad,
it wouldn't make sense to put art in front of one that's eventually going to be torn down.
Yes. It's going to be the new Fire Station 1. Right catty corner from Geyer Commons.
Sure.
It'll be over there. We have another piece that we're going to do at Oliver Nature Park. So that's another piece that we have artists bidding for, and we're going to vote on that as well. And there's other things in the works now. So now that the ball's rolling, you're going to start seeing these pieces come quarterly or multiple times throughout the year. So it's really great to really visually see that. Another thing we do for local artists, I'm kind of jumping ahead here.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
So one of the initiatives that I was given when I first started last year, I can't believe it's only been a year since we started this, the historic Wallace Hall House in downtown is right next to the fire station, the current fire station number 1. We repurposed that for an art gallery, like solely for visual arts, which is the first time we've done that in the city, which is great. Since we start opening in March of last year, we've had 7 exhibitions already. And we just had an opening this past Saturday for our children's exhibition. So that's been really received well by the city. We have private studios upstairs for artists who rent those out, and they work out of those studios. But the other great thing is that ties really into just the local art scene that we have here, the artists that we have. They really are hungry and willing and excited to promote the arts in the city, and they just really gravitate towards everything. I mean, that house itself would not function without our local artists really taking ownership of that. Other things like the art truck. You saw about
the art truck was cool.
Interactive art? Yes. You said that. I was like, I have to mention the art truck. So we have a mobile visitor center. That's the box truck. You've seen it before at different events. You lift up the side panel to expose the window. And before I came on board, the funny story is that I was going to different events, and people thought it was a food truck, apparently.
Oh,
so
no.
they'll come up there and like, what are you selling? We're like,
looking for tacos.
Yeah, well, we got a brochure, Yeah. So that's the funny story with that. So really wasn't serving the purpose or the impact that our department wanted. So we repurposed that as the interior of the box truck. We said, let's get local artists to design the inside of the truck as a mobile museum, so to speak, or mobile gallery. So we've had some phenomenal interactive pieces that have been installed from local artists. And as we speak, the art truck got dropped off at Worley Middle School. So the students there are designing the next installation.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Okay. And then after that one, we have one for the America 250 celebration. So we have there's a bid out now, a call for artists to design that space for the 250th anniversary of America. And then we have another one. So it's just like rotating, throughout the year. So that's the interactive piece that we can take to different venues and different locations so people can experience that. And that's really what we want to do, like you said, to have people immerse themselves in the arts.
All right. I'm an artist. I want to get involved. I'm not an artist. I'm
sure you are.
I'm talking on behalf of the listeners.
Yes.
Actually, I am an artist, and we'll get into that in a second. I'm an artist. I want to get involved with the art in Mansfield. How do I go about doing that?
Well, the great way, we have a central hub to find all the information about the public art program, the Wallace Hall Art House, or just upcoming events that we have in the cultural arts. MansfieldTexasArts.org. That's our website, MansfieldTexasArts.org. That's our website you go to, and all the information I'm sharing now about the art truck, upcoming events, the workshops and classes that our local artists lead that we do as a department as well. The large events we have coming up like Arts Week and Music Alley, anything we have for visual and performing arts is on that website. So if you go there or just reach out to us, we have forms there to fill out. Say, hey, I want to be a part of the newsletter. Or if there's an open call, it will be on the website. I can apply straight from the website. I'm surprised at how many people actually, once I tell, we put a call up there or we put information about the event, how many people are like, oh, I saw it on the website.
Yeah.
Or I saw it on your Facebook page. You know, the Mansfield Commission for the Arts has a Facebook page, which is where we post like pictures of the mural painting and things like that. So it's just amazing how people are finding these like two entities here to find this information. And that's the best way to find out what's really going on in our department.
And art isn't just paintbrush to canvas. It's not just chisel to bronze.
Yes.
Music is art.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
That's where I'm the artist.
Yes.
How can I become more involved in the community?
I'm so glad you said that because that's very true when I say visual and performing arts, because you're right. We think art, we think Michelangelo and Picasso. We think, like the actual 2D version of it. But I mean, there's so much more to it. There's dance, there's song, there's songwriting is an art. So when it comes to things like that, the same thing, if you want to be a part of, for example, our cultural incubator program at the Far Best Theater, if you want to be a part of having a chance to perform there or bring a workshop there or bring an event there or a concert, there's opportunities for local artists to actually be a part of these facilities and actually have their performances, yes.
Or even start with open mic night
Absolutely.
At the Far Best Theater.
Which is very well attended and is a great chance to come out as a performing artist to actually showcase your talents.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Have you done that yourself?
I've not done that because, and Tim Roberts comes in here. In fact, he'll be in here later today,
yes, sir.
later in this episode. He comes in once a month and does the cultural arts calendar.
Yes, sir.
And he always mentions open mic night. It's always on the same night that I am performing.
Got you.
Elsewhere. And I keep telling him, one of these days, when I'm not booked on that second Thursday,
yes,
I will do an open mic. But no, I haven't. I have not.
Well, looking forward to you doing that.
Someday. Does Christopher Bryant have a favorite ice cream?
You know what? I'm not a sweets person, and I know that's surprising because my family all loves sweets. But if I had any ice cream, I would say cookies and cream. But it's not like, oh, I need ice cream today. I'm a weirdo like that. So yeah. My vice is brownies. If I have a plate of brownies in front of me, it got to restrain me. But that is my vice. Yes.
All right. We're going with cookies and cream.
Yes, sir.
Right. Christopher Bryant. Everyone who sits in that chair goes through what's called the lightning round.
Okay.
And this, why be different? Let's do that as well.
Yes, sir.
The lightning round is your opportunity to basically tell the listeners more about you through a series of 10 questions.
Okay.
They are this or that type questions.
Got you.
And so if you're ready.
I think I am.
Okay, we'll start off pretty easy then. Night or day?
Night.
Abstract or representational?
Representational.
Permanent installation or temporary pop-up?
Temporary pop-up.
Murals or freestanding pieces?
Freestanding pieces.
Steel or stone?
Steel. Downtown
focal point or neighborhood surprise?
Downtown focal point.
Safe crowd pleaser or tastefully risky?
Oh, if I answer this the wrong way in Mansfield. No, let's say safe crowd pleaser.
Daytime impact or nighttime lighting?
Nighttime lighting.
Yes, I have to go with that. Maintenance friendly or worth the upkeep?
Maintenance friendly, please.
Interactive art or look, don't touch?
Interactive art.
Public art manager for the city of Mansfield, Christopher Bryant. Folks, go out in the town and look for art. If you're an artist, doesn't matter if you're a painter, a sculptor, a musician, any type of artist, get involved. MansfieldTexasArts.org
yes,
is
sir.
the website. Christopher, I appreciate your time and appreciate you explaining and giving us the vision of art here in Mansfield.
Well, thank you so much, Steve, for all that you do for the city, and thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Thanks for being on About Mansfield.
Yes, sir.
Coming up next week on About Mansfield, we will talk in studio with yet another fine Mansfield resident. You'll just have to tune in to find out who it is. In the meantime, this is the place where you will hear the latest Mansfield news, talk, and information. Until then, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, engage, connect, amplify, elevate, celebrate, embrace, explore, love, share. You know what to do. If you haven't already, head on over to our website, aboutmansfield.com. Enter your email address right there on the homepage. We will never, ever, ever send you any spam. We promise. And even though Colleen had the week off, she was kind enough to leave us with the credits.
About Mansfield is recorded at Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio. Hosts Steve Casillo and Colleen Daniel. Moment with the Mayor, Michael Evans. Methodist Mansfield News to Know, Angel Biasatti. Cultural Arts Calendar, Tim Roberts. Cocktail of the Week, Brian Certain. Post-production editing, mixing, and mastering, Steve Casillo and Andrew Miner.
This podcast is copyrighted by Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this podcast without prior written consent is strictly prohibited. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Steve Casillo, and this is About Mansfield.